Grand rising, grand rising, grand rising. Putting on the armor of a God. I'm in a different setting this morning because I've been feeling some attacks and I had to get out in nature and allow the beautiful presence of nature to be my armor on this day. Putting on the armor of God. As I meditated with life or God this morning, what was revealed to me was rapture. Now, if any of you guys are not afraid of responding on here, as I stated, I know nothing about the Bible, but as I meditated this morning, this was the message that came to me, was putting on the armor of God, and I heard rapture. So I don't know anything about the rapture. I'm going to have to do my own research. Before I came here, I was walking out the door and I heard rapture. So I have to do my own research when I get done with this and I get back home and I'm able in a position to follow through on that. But if you guys know something, please respond. Putting on the armor of God. See, a lot of us don't understand that our armor is spirit. Many people don't understand that it tells us in the Bible, do not honor the flesh, but the spirit. And when you realize that you're living inside of a universe, the kingdom of heaven is within. You're living inside of a living God. Okay? And to sacrifice that living God to be flesh, it says, and the word became flesh. So it's already telling you who the adversary is. It's literally telling you. You don't realize that you in your own kingdom waging war against your royalty, your legacies, your descendants, your lineage. You waging war with everything. See, as I get higher and higher and higher in my baptism and being baptized by the Holy Spirit, I discover that no battle is being waged against me in the world. It's being waged against me in this world, because a lot of people don't understand that I and my Father are one. And when I come to this understanding, you learn how to put on the armor. You have to learn how to put on the armor. See, a lot of people don't understand that every day, because I and my Father are one, we are all one. So everybody in the collective flesh, everybody operating as humanity right now is in the same mentality. This is why I say birds of a feather flock together. And that's why it's 99% of the world that don't know they have been waging war against God. And this God does not live in the world and in the sky, and you don't have to go die to go to heaven to get to this God. The kingdom of heaven lives within. So how God has been showing me how to understand this understanding is by the white and the red blood cells. God is the white blood cell and humanity is the red. It's the foreign nature. So human beings have come into God's kingdom, and they have literally, this is why I told us don't serve other gods, idols and statues and false prophets, because they have invaded God's kingdom and they're hosting themselves as gods in a living kingdom where they don't know. They're like poltergeists. See, this is what has been revealing itself to itself through me. See, I still operate in flesh because this is what I am. But my knowledge says my people perish because of lack of knowledge. My knowledge is the kingdom of heaven within. This is where all my understanding comes from. It does not come from the world. Because if I try to keep staying in a as a poltergeist, I will never receive my royal oats. See, my royal oats is my lineage. Like I told you, being internal. That's my royal oat. Being anointed and appointed, because I am a testament to life. I'm not a testament to the world. That's why I never had the privilege that the world has had. I never got those privileges. Why? Because I wasn't of the world, and I could never be of the world, because I'm not a descendant of the world. I am a descendant of the Most High, of the kingdom of heaven within. That's why I stated I'm an internal being. Nobody ever told me this. But as a kid, since I was 5 years old, I knew that I was living inside of this kingdom. Nothing in that world could ever tell me different. You cannot tell me different, because what I'm feeling, what I was feeling was that world was trying to kill me. That world was trying to destroy me. That world hated me. And a lot of people, they will justify this. And just like I say, we cannot justify life. You can't justify life, because life is a knowledge. It says, my people perish because of lack of knowledge. And life is a knowledge within its own testament called life. I came to give you life. And you can never justify life. Why? Because it's a genetic code. As long as you know life is a genetic code, nobody can dispute this but the devil. And I told you the devil's a liar. And if you want to understand, I don't know the devil. The devil cannot enter my kingdom. The devil cannot use my mind. Okay? Putting on the armor of God is just one thing, beloveds. It does not take us praying every day. It does not take us doing anything. Well, in the case of flesh, it does take time, because you have been programmed. Every cell in your body, since the kindergarten through 12th grade, and if you went to college, you're living under a master. It's called flesh. And how knowledge or God or life was showing me this morning how to explain this. It was explaining this to me. It's like seeing yourself, if you flesh right now, seeing yourself living inside of this kingdom. Just put yourself back inside of yourself and just pay attention to life. Just realizing that you're living in the kingdom of heaven within, which is life. You serve a living God, and this living God only lives inside of you. And then you are the flesh. And you see this flesh as the devil. You see him with red horns. As a kid, it's crazy, because everything is just coming back and making sense now. As a kid, I would see the devil and the angel on people's shoulders. I don't know how I was capable of seeing this, but as a kid, I told you, I felt like I was living in the Twilight Zone. And it used to be, this is how I was able to see, have eyes to see. I would see the devil and the angel. And that's how I was able to see. But as a kid, you think you are crazy seeing all this shit. You literally think you are crazy seeing all this stuff. But we have to remember, these eyes are not processing life in the world. Before they even come up to the optical nerve and become the frequency and vibration, so that you can believe that you are perceiving a reality. See, the reality that you are perceiving is, okay, so flesh is like an inoculation. Let me show you. This is what it explained to me this morning. Flesh is like the inoculations that we get. It's like this program. It's another program that you're seeing through. Somebody inoculated you, and now those eyes is like you're seeing through a screen of that program. You're literally seeing through the screen of this program. And that program is projecting this vision that you're seeing. This is not real. When it says it's the Matrix, somebody placed this program called humanity before you, and now it's like, this is why they say it's the game of life. They're saying this is the game of life because of this very reason, that this is what it showed me this morning, that we are seeing through a program. That inoculation put this little computer chip in you, and in that computer chip you are that's what you're seeing, because we truly do not see through the lenses of these eyes, beloveds. It's just impossible. It's impossible. So what you are seeing right now is that program, that chip. It's like a movie screen. Inside of you is a whole the whole world. See, in this kingdom, I'm sitting on God's right side in here. I'm sitting on God's right side, and the knowledge is like downloading itself to me right now. This is why I say my people perish because of lack of knowledge. And this knowledge is testifying the good news to itself through me. Just like that program that you guys are seeing called humanity in the world, that outwardly vision that you truly cannot see. It's like you can't see that without somebody putting this program in you. And you're in this, what is it called? You're literally in this, it's a matrix. You're in this program. It's like Mario World. And you got to get to all these levels. But you only have to get to those levels if you choose to play the game of life. And remember, the reason why you put in that stimulation is because you sacrificed. You literally sacrificed life. You sacrifice life. All of you sacrifice life because it says perfect love casts out all fear, because fear has to do with punishment. How many of y'all right now are afraid to call on life, to have life save you? And you're living inside of a living God, a living kingdom. And these eyes that you're seeing through right now, this is God literally seeing through you. And God is watching you, the flesh. All fleshful beings is all seeing through the same program. You're not seeing through no other program. I don't care if you race. I don't care if you black, white, Indian, green, yellow, purple, an alien, an Anunnaki, a Christian, a Buddhist. I don't care who you are. A word, a name, it says, and the word became flesh, and you made it your only begotten son. So it's already telling you right there that word turns you into flesh. And what is the word inside of this kingdom? It would be the program. It would be whatever program that was injected into this kingdom to take over your kingdom. The kingdom of heaven lives within. And that program came into this kingdom, and it turned it into a spiritual warfare. So you don't know that, but this kingdom is still a genetic makeup. This is why it says God will return. See, when God returns, the program will be obsolete. This is what I've been hearing for the last year, that God is not taking no obsolete programs. I've been hearing this, beloveds. And I don't know nothing about this. I do know something about biology and the biological being, because that's my living truth. That's a living truth. That's something that not even man can deny. That's something that not ignorance would even deny in itself. You would automatically be denying God. And this is why I say sometimes it's like I have to say, God, have mercy over my soul. It should be against the law for certain people to have authority to lead life. They have walked us in the valley of the shadow of death, and God doesn't care that we do not know this. Why? Because you're living inside of a memory cell. You're living inside of a genetic makeup, and God does not care. Inside of this kingdom, we are at spiritual warfare every day. I know, because as a kid, I would tell my mom all the time, when people were coming against me, when people were doing things to me, they knew who I was. See, one thing about the spirit, you guys don't see the spirit because you are flesh. You can only serve one master, beloveds. Only one master, because consciousness is just consciousness. If I use my consciousness for flesh, then I sacrifice my life. I sacrifice my royalhood, my kingdom within. So I cannot operate in this kingdom, which I already have dominion over the world when I'm in this kingdom. All those things will be added on to me. But all that means nothing at this point, because today I heard rapture. And I'll have to go do my own research on that. I do not understand that. But when I was in life and letting life just download this beautiful live to me this morning, I heard rapture. So I have to go and do my research on that. If you guys know something, please reach out. Let me know. But it was showing me how to see God inside of this kingdom. Like, you see God sitting on his throne in this kingdom, and the flesh, it's like you are waging war against God. The flesh, see, everything we think we're doing in the world, it's just not possible, beloveds. Not even before these eyes can go outwardly. The inner world, the kingdom of heaven within, has to process it. It has to give it life. It has to give it life. There's no way for you to have a vision without the life giving it the resource, without life giving it the power or the victory or the glory. So this is why everything that we do in the world, it can be victorious, because life is giving it power. You're sacrificing the kingdom of heaven within. You're sacrificing not being able to sit on your Father's right side. You're sacrificing all the royal oaths of the world. We already have been given dominion over the world. And God was showing me this morning in its meditation, it was showing me the devil inside of this kingdom, how the devil is sitting there like this big old inflated ego. It's like inside of this kingdom, it's this big old inflated ego, and every time you give it power, it's like how I always saw the devil sitting on the shoulder. I would just see him like how I see the succubus, how I see the words. Those are the succubus. They're all these words that we have been programmed to stand and portray ourselves as. And I see them. They're like perverts. They're like perverts. And it's like you this innocent kid inside of this kingdom, because you're still innocent. You're still innocent. Why are you still innocent? Because what is using you, it says, and the word becomes flesh. These words are using you. They're becoming flesh for you. They're now becoming these entities. They're demons inside of you. And I always could see them. Like I couldn't sleep at night because my eyes would literally see this. And then when I would go to the bathroom, you guys don't know, when you sleep in, the spirit roams. And that, y'all spirits is not God's spirits. Your spirits are not angels. Your spirits are fallen angels, dark angels. And when I would go to the bathroom as a kid, this is what I would see. I would see all the people that was asleep. And when you sleep, your spirit realms. And this is what I would see. And I would be terrified. This is why I would get in trouble all the time, because I would pee in the bucket, because I was afraid to go to the bathroom. I was afraid to take showers. I was afraid to do anything. I was afraid to be in the dark. Because whenever I closed my eyes, that's when I could see the spirit realm. And when I was sleeping, I would be attacked. Some days when I got older, when I became an adult, I would be laying in bed and something would pin me down on the bed. Just pin me down. I couldn't get up. It was like holding me down, and it was a lot of stuff happening to me, you guys. I try not to go back there, because I've been through a lot. I've been through so much. And the world is so ignorant to this. They don't believe nothing. And this is what God was revealing to me today. The inflated ego. See, flesh is a narcissist. It's like the devil is a liar. It's a liar. Nothing it knows, nothing it thinks, nothing. It's like the bigger we feed this abscess, the more we feed this abscess, the more powerful we make it inside of us. And the part that we don't understand is that it's a sin. It's like everything that this creature does inside of us, it numbers our days. And I show you through the jar. This is how I'm seeing it when I meditate. God is literally showing me that it numbers our days. This ego gets so inflated, and the more powerful you make it, like you see these people in the world that you call powerful, and they think they greater than everybody. They think they know more than everybody. They are the ones who really give this darkness the power. It's them, the people who find themselves powerful and believe they greater than everything. They feed this beast, and they make this beast so powerful. And what you don't realize is, because I got to see this as a kid, it's just one mind. And this one mind, because it's just flesh, remember, it's only one program running inside of us. It's either consciousness or consciousness unconscious. And we all running off the same program. So if you are African American, you're all running off of this same program called African American. And the most powerful minds are the ones ruling this program. And the same thing goes for white, Hispanic. It's no different. Whatever program you are inside of, this program is And all I keep hearing is the rapture. I keep hearing the rapture, beloveds. I just keep hearing the rapture. But anyways, this program, these people that have the minds, those big inflated egos, this is what I seen. I kept seeing this big giant head. This just big giant balloon head. And this head is like, maybe that's the rapture. I don't know if that's the rapture. The head exploding, I don't know. But that's what I keep seeing. I keep seeing this big fucking giant head. And these people that you call powerful and you look after and you pursue to be like these people are, they're this big darkness. They're the big head that I keep seeing when life gave me this beautiful knowledge this morning. And I'm like, ooh, hold on, you guys. I give my own testimony when I'm doing this, and sometimes it just all I can see is spirit sitting on the right side. It says, Jesus said, I sit on the right side of my Father in the spiritual kingdom. That's where Jesus sits, in the spiritual kingdom. And our flesh is the other kingdom, the red and the white angels, the devil and the angel. The fallen angel is the devil, and the which is the flesh, and then the angel, the white angel, is the spirit. It hasn't been, you see, the devil is the red cell. This is how God showed me a while ago when I told you about the red and the white blood cell. That's what we see. The red blood cell is the devil. Inside of our body, we have the red blood cells that come in and attack our healthy cell, which is the white blood cell. See, nothing is happening in the world, beloveds. So all these inflated egos, all those powerful people, they're the rapture. This is what I'm hearing right now. They're the rapture. They are the rapture. What this rapture is, I do not know. I don't know. This is why I've been on here. Over a year ago, I went to Florida and I got to be in the presence of shamans. God sent me there so that I can be protected, so that I can go and communion. I can go back in communion, but during that time when I was communioning, I was going through life, seeing how we created this flesh body. And during that time, I got to, y'all ain't gonna even believe this. It's so, for me, it's my life's purpose. This is what I'm here for. I'm a child of the Most High. So a child of the Most High is going to be a visionary of life. A child of the Most High is going to be a life coach. That's my gift. That's not even my gift. That is my lineage. Remember, our cells is our lineage. And if my cell is my lineage, and my lineage is life, then my lineage is the genetic code. So I am the seed of life. The seed of a mustard seed. Or the faith of a mustard seed, however you guys call it. I tell you, I don't see like the world. I don't believe anything. I don't believe what religion says. I don't want anybody to say, because many people don't believe in the Bible because it's been fragmented. You got 50,000 gods, and we already know that there's only one thing inside of this kingdom. This is the only place that we can perceive any form of life is inside of us. I mean, that you guys would see life as the world, that you would see your science as the world. I mean, it's an ignorance. And that's what I was led to this morning. It was showing me that inflated ego, and this inflated ego is like a big ignorant. It's like I saw a bobblehead. It was just a bobblehead. And it's so ignorant, but it thinks it's so powerful, and it thinks it's so worthy, and it thinks it's better than everybody. I mean, it wants everybody to be like it. It's just, I seen it just pumping up this, it was like, it, it's just inflating bullshit. It's just all bullshit. And it's like pumping his head up so big. And this is why I heard the rapture. I don't know why. I just heard the rapture. And I get my own testament on here. I get my own testament, beloveds. My own testament, okay? So just listen. You don't have to believe anything. Ask God for discernment. But one thing that I know is that I am a biological being. I know that this is biology. I know that this is my internal science, and no one can deny this but the devil himself, and the devil is a liar. And this is why it was saying fools in ignorance. An ignorant person cannot ever sit on God's right side. An ignorant person can never honor the Lord, our life, our God. It's just impossible. Why? Because we can only serve two masters, and this is what you got to understand about having eyes to see and ears to hear. You see, I hear life because I know life only takes place in this kingdom, and I know that life is just but one. We are a genetic makeup. And remember, just like a race, y'all all carry the same program. You all carry the same programs. Maybe you were born in different environments and had to take on different sufferings. But if you put it all in a collective whole, that program is ran based on how the government runs these races. So we know that Hispanic and anybody that's not white, they're a minority. And that minority program has it has a dictionary. How they say minorities are supposed to live, how they're supposed to think, what they value is. I mean, it already wrote a program for you guys. You guys already, and you have to live up to this program because it limited your mind. It limited, you have no knowledge. You don't have any knowledge. What you are living off of is a program. Somebody put this program in you, and you don't have infinite existence. You just have a limited existence, and this is why I kept showing you the jar. And once your limited existence gets to 99, because you're still wholeness. If you don't know anything about infinite, you fill up. You fill up, and once you get to that where your days is numbered, to the end of your days, then the soul has to leave you. The soul has to leave you. The soul will leave you. However you wrote your book of life, like however you kept saying all your life how you were gonna die, and how you programming this. This is why nobody is doing this to you, beloveds. This is why I say you cannot justify anything that you do in life. You just can't. This flesh is using you, but you living inside of knowledge. God sees your eyes. God will do anything for you. I mean, God will do anything for you, beloveds. Anything. But before you start asking God for anything, because God does not listen to an ego. God only listens to a pure heart. This is why it says, who knows the heart is wicked? If you operating in flesh, God don't hear you. The God that's hearing you is the devil. That's the God that's hearing you, and the devil will give you anything, just like the living God will give you anything. The first thing, you got to ask for life. I don't ask for nothing of that world. I know who that world is ran by. It's ran by the devil. And you don't want nothing that the devil offers you. You want nothing that the devil offers you. It comes with a price. You will have to pay a price to that motherfucker. I'm just telling you. And the price that you pay to this poltergeist, which is a figment of your own imagination, is your life. This is why it says your days will be numbered. Your days are being numbered because you are selling your soul, which is your infinity, your royal oats, your legacy, your lineage. And not only are you sacrificing yours, everything that you touch is under that same curse. This is why I say it should be against the law. And what I was seeing is that we are all being tested. God is watching even myself. I'm not excluding myself. I'm no better than any of you guys. I am equal to every last one of you guys. I choose every day who I am going to serve. And see, God sees us all. You got to remember, we are not operating in the world. Your businesses is not in that world. Your matrix is not in that world. Your churches and your buildings is not in that world. It's in your genetic code. And this is what an Akashic record is. This is what a transgression is. God is keeping record of everything you do in your blood. This is why when you have babies, it just keeps getting passed down and passed down and passed down and passed down. Now, we don't have to live in the matrix. We only live in the matrix because we want to follow false prophets. They keep us in there, those big inflated bobbleheads that I keep telling you, and I heard the great rapture. And you have to have discernment. Ask God for discernment on what that means. Do your research. As I said, if you guys know anything and you speak out, I will meditate on it. I will commune with God, and I will ask God to help us all get a better understanding. That is what I can do. I can communion because I sit on my Father's right side. That's why I am internal. So God will tell me whatever I need to know. My whole life, the world never honored me. The world never respected me. The world never valued me. The world hated me. So I spent my whole life seeking God's approval, seeking God's love, seeking God's will. Why, God? Crying every day for 41 years. So that's all I know. Sometimes I try to come out in the world and deal with those people, and every time that I do this, what do? They harm me again. They abuse me again. They take advantage of me again. They steal, kill, and try to destroy what God has given unto me to bless them with again. You cannot be righteous in spirit, in flesh. It's no righteousness in flesh. Your whole program, you're under a program, and that program has already been written. It's already been written. And I tell you, the only thing a program can do is execute its program. This is why it said, surely if you eat from the knowledge of that tree, surely you will die. You're going to die by that program. You are now an executor of life. And you have to remember that this life that you are executing is not taking place in the world. It's taking place in that blood. So you're not just sacrificing your life. Anyone you write that program into, this is why I said you can do anything you want to do. But when it comes against somebody's life, like all that shit that I had to endure, I shouldn't have had to endure it. I knew better. At 5 years old, I knew better. I had common sense. I had knowledge to know that what was being done to me felt like kryptonite. And see, the people of the world, they hate life. I'm just going to tell you this. Y'all do not love life. Y'all do not honor God. The God y'all are serving is not the living God. Because if you were serving the living God, that world would not operate by religion, schools, parents. You serve knowledge. You live inside of knowledge. Do you know in your mother's womb, these are my eyes. You are in my kingdom. I tell this body what to do. Do you think your breath thinks about itself anytime? Do you think your arm thinks about itself? Most of the time you don't have any understanding that you're even living in this kingdom because your eyes are in the world. You don't take out a day, a minute in your day and just honor this kingdom because you can't. Because you are that deflated ego. You are that artificial intelligence. You are that, you're what they call the devil's advocate. And although I tell you, I don't believe in any of those things. I don't believe in them. But because that is your mentality, I have to use your mentality. I can't just tell you this nothingness. I sit on my Father's right side, and I'm knowledge. This knowledge don't have a color. This knowledge don't have a race. This knowledge, it's like consciousness. It's just like the breath. You think you see your breath, you know where your breath go, but although you know that breath was the beginning of the human, when that heart beat and you came out of your mother's womb, life entered into this kingdom.